Hi, it's Ralph and Lahni for Planetary Calendar. We're back again with the forecast, this time for November 2018. As Ralph just pointed out to me, there are a lot more words in the forecast for November, so apparently Scorpio has a lot to say.
Yes.
I think I'll get my glasses out for that one. So it starts out with the words, this is a transformational month with fundamental changes, so don't plan on coasting through it. Mercury is slowing, preparing to go retrograde on the 16th, so communication lags. On the 6th, Uranus retrogrades into Aries, giving society another shot at being disrupted by aberrant personalities. That sounds interesting. On the 7th, an upbeat new moon with a trine between Mars and Venus benefits love relationships. With the Sun-Moon conjunction close to expansive Jupiter, plus Mercury and Sagittarius conjunct the giant red star Antares, people will be loud. On the 8th, Jupiter enters his ruling sign of Sagittarius. This is a big transit, setting a theme for a whole year. Even though Saturn in Capricorn continues his conservative, constrictive course, Jupiter counters with an optimistic attitude is the first step to success. The White Circle Day on the 9th takes advantage of the newly arrived Jupiter making a good aspect to the moon, while there's a lovely trine between Venus and Mars. On the 12th, the Sun sextile moon is a smooth spot after a bumpy week. On the 15th, Mars enters Pisces, which is not a strong position, but it sextiles Uranus and Saturn and squares Jupiter, so be conscious of how your surroundings make you feel and clear up any spots that don't feel safe or sound. On the 16th, the black box day denotes Venus turning direct, while Mercury turns retrograde. That's like the push me, pull you aspect,
really?
right?
Yes.
That's a lot of turbulence for one day.
Yes.
The 19th is another black box day thanks to the Mars square Jupiter. Remember, this extends before and after the dates for a little while, so there may be extra work getting strategies to turn into reality. The 22nd is Thanksgiving and the full moon as the Sun enters Sagittarius, approaching Jupiter and Mercury. This sets off a mutable T-square with Mars and the moon, so the issues at hand are all about people, their relationships, interests, and beliefs. On the 24th, Neptune turns direct in Pisces, adding power to that mutable cross and expressing the spiritual message of compassion, finally. The 25th is an ideal day to relax with the Sun conjunct Jupiter in Sagittarius and the Moon in Cancer, the sign of Jupiter's exaltation. That's a pretty powerful combo. Only the Saturn opposite the Moon grounds the day and makes sure that people don't forget their responsibilities. Saturn is also why it didn't earn a white circle. The White Circle Day on the 27th is a supercharged day to get things done, so take advantage of that energy.
It's quite a month.
That was a mouthful.
It's transformational.
It really is.
It really is a transformational month.
And that's why the warning is right there. This is a transformational month.
After October was so kind of personal and intimate and friendly, and we got boom into November. It's just lots of stuff. And of course, the big thing in the room is Jupiter entering Sagittarius, his ruling sign. You know, Jupiter stays in the sign usually about a year. Takes 12 years to do the whole cycle. But Jupiter has two rulership signs traditionally, Sagittarius, which is the masculine, and Pisces, which is the feminine. And when a planet moves into its rulership position, hey, he's the prince.
King of the hill.
Yeah, exactly. He's, really takes command. Now, he's having to share it because Saturn in Capricorn is also in rulership. But it's interesting because Saturn in Capricorn is in a feminine rulership, and Jupiter in Sagittarius is in a masculine rulership. So I really think in some ways the way we'll see it in society is that Saturn in Capricorn, I think, has greatly empowered feminine voices. It's made people really take women seriously. The Me Too movement, women in politics, the number of, especially in November, this is coming up,
Well, I have some things to say about that too. So,
Oh.
I mean, the month starts out a little calmly. You know, the
Speaking of
first,
women
the
having a
second, the
voice.
third, the fourth, even the fifth. It's kind of calm and
Yes.
peaceful. No hard aspects at
Yep.
all. You know, it's just moving along in grease grooves, waiting for Uranus to enter Aries on election day.
Yeah, back up into election day.
Okay,
Yep.
so Uranus, the planet of the internet, the global community, you know, the larger view, the rebel, the change agent, you know, entering Aries, the sign of the individual and individual choice and individual power, on a day when not only is he moving into Aries, but the moon is going to go into Scorpio, the collective use of power. To say that this election day is going to be a powerful day is the understatement of the century. I mean, this has so many indicators, so many markers for the potential to be a very dynamic, powerful day. And I think for, you know, Uranus is one of the outer planets that is very sort of impersonal, but has an effect on a larger group. But the fact that it's going into Aries, which could not be more personal, could not be more individualized.
And we've just spent 7 years with Uranus and Aries.
So, you know, we've got the individual with a global view taking their power. I mean,
Exactly. And the day before, the sun is trine Neptune. Neptune has to do with our vision, our global vision. The sun trine Neptune in Pisces, about, you know, the sign of compassion. I think you're right.
it's
very
also the
powerful.
sign of government.
Sign of government, exactly. In fact, the federal government is often associated with Pisces. And the following day, on the 7th, is the new moon. So that's the Scorpio new moon, the sun and moon in Scorpio. So it's a very, very powerful day.
Well, so the
about that.
new moon after election day, what do you think? Is that like a new wave starting there?
Hey, yeah, the new moon is the most feminine point, and this is in the feminine martial sign of Scorpio. Scorpio is the feminine ruler of Mars, and then on the following day is the day that Jupiter enters Sagittarius, which is all about optimism.
Well, and luckily you're watching this in November, so you only have a couple days to find out if we know what we're talking about.
Right. we do these forecasts months and months in advance, so which is fairly.
So somebody's going to go party on the 9th, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
a white circle day. We're gonna have some celebrations, youth with
Yes.
the moon aspecting Mercury and Jupiter well.
Yeah, exactly. The moon and Sag, and right, that beautiful Venus Mars trine, which is boys and girls and boys getting along well. You know, that's a nice aspect. Never disliked that. And then
Jupiter did change signs on the 8th, so it enters Sagittarius. So Jupiter in Sagittarius, that's like optimism cubed.
Yep,
Right?
exactly. Yes, exactly. And then from there you go into the moon's moving along, and then the next big thing that happens is on the 15th, which is Mars entering Pisces. Whenever Mars changes a sign, you will feel, but this you're going to really feel the 15th and 16th. In 2 days, Mars enters Pisces, and then on the 16th, Venus turns direct, which is always a big thing, and Mercury turns retrograde. And, you know, where sometimes with the outer planets, if a planet changes direction, you know, maybe you kind of feel, but it's a gradual process. You know, they station for a long period of time. But these planets close in, these are our
The
intimate
personal
planets.
planets,
Yeah,
yeah.
you feel them. You feel the you know, it's like, you know, you change in, you know, somebody changing the gear in the car.
They don't get more personal than Mercury, Venus, and Mars, and
Right,
all three
exactly.
of them are doing something to you on the 15th and the 16th. So
Exactly. So, you know, be conscious of any little bumps in the road there. If you have anything that you're planning on, you really need to get done at that time, be more scrupulous, be more picky, be more conscious of. You're going to run into little bits of disruption here and there. So just, plan for it. That's all.
Well, and I think that, Mars going into Pisces, but Pisces is a sign of compassion, and Mars can always take a lesson in compassion because sometimes Mars can be a little headstrong and a little impulsive. And, let's put all that good Mars energy to use into visionary and compassionate action, while Venus is going direct in her rulership, her masculine rulership of Libra.
Yep.
So that's equity, fairness, balancing the scales, which is, certainly an issue of this election coming up. There's so many balances that are in the balance, so to speak, riding on that election. And she goes into that, she goes direct after having taken all that time to turn that energy inward and become more insightful.
And then on the 24th, Neptune turns direct in Pisces. So the movement of, being compassionate globally really, regains power. And what's interesting is that the sun enters Sagittarius on the full moon.
Well, and I'm glad that Mercury didn't turn direct until after the election. So, turn retrograde, was direct at the time of the election. It probably was not even, it was slowing down, but hadn't even stationed yet. So that you have that full force of your thoughts, your actions, your communication, your voice.
Exactly. And Thanksgiving's going to be a very interesting day, with the full moon on that day. Whenever you have a holiday with a full moon, they can be very nice. They can be a little crazy, but they can be very nice. And this is in Sagittarius.
Well, that's the day that instead of having a family get together, we go make reservations out somewhere.
Yes, that's true, but that's dust. And then we have a couple of notes here on the 25th. For some reason, we put a note there. It's for a day to relax. Probably because the sun is conjunct Jupiter. Whenever the sun goes conjunct Jupiter once a year, and the days right around it, so 24th, 25th, 26th, you really get this nice sense of ease. And this year, especially because Jupiter's in his ruling sign of Sagittarius. And then on the 27th, there are so many aspects on that day. There are so many. And we simply wrote the words energized. So it's going to be a day of a lot of energy going on, a lot of communications, a lot of connections and things like that. So, maybe make a note on that. So follow along, in the course of the month, follow the forecast because there's a lot going on again this month. This is as Lahni said from the forecast, this is a transformational month. Whenever Jupiter changes sign or an outer planet changes sign, it's a big thing.
Well, you've got so many, you've got Uranus changing sign or direction. Of all the planets changing sign or direction, you've got Uranus, Jupiter, Mars, Venus, Mercury, the Sun, of course, and Neptune.
Yeah, in the course of the month.
In the course of the month. So to be that's pretty much the definition of a transformational month because, the imperative of the universe is to change. And it shows you like attracts like by changing, all these planets are changing their signs and changing direction.
This is why one of the things that is in there is really look at your environment, look at your surroundings. Maybe go and look at some of our videos about environmental design and sacred design and feng shui, because make sure your environment is really working. Scorpio, a lot of this is happening with the sun in Scorpio, is very much a sign about the power of your personal environment. So make sure that that's as clear, as safe and sound as you can make it. Get rid of any toxic chemicals in your environment. Get rid of, toxic things in your environment. You have objects that give you a weird feeling, are connected to a person who you have a weird emotion about. Toss it out. Scorpio is the time of the year to toss things out.
Well, and you may also want to think about toxic people in your life.
Exactly.
I think it was Mark Victor Hansen said that once a year you should sit down with your phone book and take out 10% of the people at the bottom to make room for a new 10% at the top. It's kind of this renewal with fall and into winter. You start to make changes that will set you up for the coming year. So
use this month, use the transformational power of November to transform your life in good ways.
So that's it for today. We'll see you next time.